Hmm. Your microphone being muted by the mute.
Is willing to find help or gain strength from supportive friends, family members, mentors, despite the notion that women should be independent and do it all. And a strong woman stand up for herself, and a stronger woman stand up for everyone else. And and your people as well as choose the word stronger woman to the guest of honor of today's occasion, Justice Rajni, who has stand for everyone, be it colleagues or subordinate judicial officers. Srimati Justice Rajni was born on 6/11/1958 in the Anna Botala Peripalam Prakasham district, and Srimati Ramathulla Sama and Venkatapaya prosecuted school and college studies at Guntur, joined in Andhra University for law in 1977 and completed law in 1980. Got enrolled for law practice in April 1981, joined in the office of Sri Pativandala Hanumantu Prasad Garu and practiced in Guntur till getting selection as a district judge in August 2002. Sister Rajni married to Dr. Chillukuri Satrugundu and she has two sons with Kirti Chandra and Abhimanyu. It is the day where we have to commemorate our esteemed sister for extending her services to this institution for a period of 18 years from the cadre of the district judge to the judge of this court. In August 2002, Srimati Rajni appointed as additional district judge and after 4.5 months of training at Judicial Academy, posted as second additional district judge in Karimnagar and later worked as first additional district judge Karimnagar, Judge Mahila Court, Hyderabad, Economic Offences Court, Hyderabad, Principal District Judge Medak, and Metropolitan Sessions Judge, Hyderabad. Sister Justice Rajni has extended her remarkable services, and during her service, she conducted several meetings on trafficking of women to create awareness in the officers who are dealing with the cases under the Moral Trafficking Prevention Act 1956. In coordination with the Commissioner of Police Traffic Department, launched a vehicle to converse against. After completion of 14 years of service as district judge, he was elevated as judge of the Erstwhile High Court of Andhra Pradesh on 17/1/2017 and on establishment of the existing High Court of Andhra Pradesh with effect from 1/1/2019, he opted for the Andhra Pradesh state as her roots are attached to this state. Supposed to mention here that her extensive services in the institution shows her dedication in profession and institution, and she is a person who has perceived the variant cases of different kind in all these years, and during her tenure as judge of High Court, she has disposed of 11,176 main cases and 3,013 miscellaneous. There can be no gainsaying that our esteemed sister performed her duties as a judge at all hierarchies in a novel and highly personal manner. Only time will reveal to rounded assessment. She is an energetic person of good intellectual capacity, curiosity about the human conditions, and manifold elements. Further, she is woman of feeling, warmth, intelligence, engaged, creative, loyal to friends, to the institution, life. The path-breaking journey of nearly about 2 decades as a judge, subordinate judiciary as well as of this court could not have been possible without the ample support of her family. So her family members lost countless ways to spend time with her. They extended remarkable cooperation by recognizing that family time is a quality time, not just for what all she has done to the betterment of the system. The legal fraternity must acknowledge the same eve of our demitting the office. One of the most special moments in life in this day is the retirement day, when you enter a new sensation, a new phase, and start a new episode for your life, while your active working days are left back as sweet memories with their lasting shadows on your present and future forever. This is when you get a lot of feeling and emotion all mixed together, and these completely overwhelms you. That is how you get into transition phase. To describe it all, a fun and interesting, but at the same time challenging too. On the occasion of our farewell, pray to Almighty to shower all blessing on her and family members and brother and sister judges. I wish her best wishes for very happy retirement. Thank you for everything you have done for this institution directly and indirectly. It's much appreciated that we shall miss working while working you. And of course, if you decide retirement means you have time to follow some artistic scene, go for them. I wish for a bright future. Thank you very much for all of you.
My Lords, the Chief Justice, Honorable Judges, Senior Counsel, Chairman Bar Council, elected officials of the Bar Association, law officers, public prosecutor, Assistant Solicitor General, lawyer community, and Justice Rajni in particular. Justice Rajni's ascent in life and particularly to the judicial career has been spoken to elaborately by the learned Chief Justice. I've had memories of appearance before her in the trial court when she was MSJ, Nampally, and also in one of those in-charge arrangements at PMLO court. And the bar generally in those troubled times, and she had to, the lady judge was responsible for keeping the bar and the bench in particularly good shape during those turbulent times of the immediately preceding 2014, and had also an occasion to. In the High Court, Her Lordship had displayed immense flavor for being participatory in debate, and also had some kind of a control mechanism over the court proceedings itself, and it was always like she had the control on the pulse of what was going on in the court hall. And most of the time, control in the courtroom was secured by a very persuasive nudge, by a smile, by a stern remark, and at the same time, without losing focus on what was on the table. I had appeared once or twice before the court prior to my taking up office and also after taking up office. And I was wondering as to where this ability to keep the courtroom in control without really controlling the debate had come from. And it was on one of those occasions that one of her students from the law college that she had taken positions as faculty had reported that she was serving as a faculty of two colleges. Now, I had worked out some information about it, and it's just only an enumeration of her multifaceted personality that the teacher that she was carried the teacher-like qualities to being a judge herself. Between 1981 and 2002, she has had positions of faculty in two important colleges and two preeminent colleges in Guntur, teaching arbitration, evidence, and TP Act. And therefore, the persuasive skills of being in charge of the courtroom without being in physical control of the same. And that is one of the many facets of the disposition I had noticed of Justice Rajni. while Justice Rajni's court has been the petitioner's counsel's favorite place to be in, and I have absolutely no grudging of the fact that she had kept all my colleagues, including GPs and additional AGs and AGPs, on toes, I need to particularly remark here that all of us found the debate in Her Lordship's court very, very appealing to the questions that otherwise wouldn't come up for debate, and the speed with which Her Lordship would grasp at what is the mischief on either side of the debate and to controlling it the same has been one of the hallmarks of her tenure in the High Court and also in the subordinate judiciary. To have an extended career and have a near unanimous appreciation of one's caliber is in the present times a difficult task to achieve, and it has been without any demur to the credit of Justice Rajni that she walks out with the unanimous appreciation of the bar as one of the court halls to go to, whether for the petitioner or for the respondent. I also understand that being a teacher is not limited to Her Lordship alone. One of her siblings is also a professor in the universities, and the learning and the learning curve that Her Lordship displays with the curiosity to understand the nitty-gritty of each case is perhaps a tribute to a teacher wanting to always be a learner herself. I have enjoyed thoroughly appearing in Her Lordship's court, and I'm sure all the petitioners' counsel and the respondents' counsel would also have a similar tale to narrate once Her Lordship done its office. I've also had an occasion to meet Her Lordship on those public occasions as well, and her remarkable warmth and candor and her ability to participate in varied activities is something that is unique to Her Lordship's personality and perhaps to the place where she comes from or where she practiced, while wishing all the very best to Her Lordship in all her times to come, with so much more to look forward to in terms of what her experience can give to the society and to the fraternity at large. I, on behalf of the profession and on behalf of the members of the profession, pray Almighty God to bestow upon the Lady Judge all that is good for a human being and for a retired life, without at the same time having to lose any opportunity of to continue to be doing good to the service of the humanity and the society at large. Well done, Judge. God bless you and may your tribe increase.
Please unmute your mic. Please unmute your mic.
Sorry, my lord. My lord, Honorable Chief Justice, the Honorable Judges of this Honorable High Court, the Learned Advocate General, the Honorable Chairman, Bar Council of AP, the Learned Assistant Solicitor General of India, the Public Prosecutor, the Registrars of High Court, the designated senior advocates, and the senior members of the bar, and my advocate friends. Today we have gathered here on the eve of retirement of Madam Justice T. Rajni Garu to share our feelings. I am privileged to be part of this program because the Madam Justice was born in November. Even my entire family also joined in November. Mine is 19th November, my spouse is 16th November, my daughter is 5th November. So ours is a November family. For that I feel that I am privileged. The madam was born on 6th November 1958 in Annapatulavari of Prakasam district to Srimati Ramatulasamma and Venkatappaya, and prosecuted her school and college education at Guntur. Madam has completed her graduation in law from Andhra University during the year 1980 and subsequently enrolled herself as an advocate during April 1981. After enrollment as advocate, the Rosa Bar Council of Andhra Pradesh, an advocate at Guntur from April 1981 to August 2002, till her selection as a district judge. After completion of 4.5 months training in Judicial Academy, Madam was given posting as second additional district judge at Karimnagar and later served as first additional district judge also at Karimnagar. As also Judge Family Court at Hyderabad and Judge Economic Offences Court at Hyderabad, and also District Judge Medak and Metropolitan Session Judge at Hyderabad, and elevated as a Judge of Honorable High Court of Hyderabad by the states of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, and sworn in as such and assumed charge on 17th January 2017. On behalf of the AP High Court Advocates Association, I would like to express the feelings of our bar. Madam, coming to court every day is like attending an examination hall, and conducting cases is like writing examination. Bar and litigant public are the examiners, and retirement day is like results declaration day. Though Madam has served as judge of the Honorable High Court for a short time, the result of the entire service would be reflected on the day of leaving the court, either by way of transfer or by retirement. Madam, you have unanimously won the hearts of the bar, members of the Bar Association, with distinction. Madam, due to pandemic situation, we are unable to bid a farewell with a physical gathering of our advocates in a grand way. Milord, the bar is missing your services at our High Court from tomorrow onwards. However, on behalf of the members of Bar Association, I pray God to give you a very peaceful and worthful retirement with good health and prosperity. Thank you one and all.
My Lord, Honorable Chief Justice J.K. Maheshwariji, Justice Rajini and other learned judges of the High Court and retired judges of the High Court, Land Advocate General Mr. Sriram, Public Prosecutor Mr. Srinivas Reddy, Assistant Solicitor General Mr. Harna, the Secretary of the Association Mr. J.U.M.E. Prasad, senior advocates and advocate friends, members of Justice Rajini, registrars, honorable registrars and staff of the High Court, ladies and gentlemen. As already the Honorable Chief Justice gave elaborately and the Advocate General and Mr. Prasad about the qualities and nature of the learned Justice Rajini Garu. She born in 1958 in Prakasham district in a neighboring village nearby my village. Formal education in Guntur district, completed the law from Andhra University in the year 1980, whereas I joined at Visakhapatnam in Law College in 1980. She has enrolled in 1981 and joined in the office of Naman Prasad, who is a very reputed practitioner at Guntur, and she was selected as a district judge in 2002. And after working at different places successfully, my lord was elevated as a High Court judge on 17/1/2017. Though I have no personal knowledge about the performance of my lord while working as a district judge, I had the opportunity to have a feedback, especially in very difficult times when the agitations are going on the all parts of the state, combined state. It was more was working as a district judge Medak And though all the courts are being boycotted on different reasons, I was told that my advocate friends from that area were very reluctant not to abstain from work in Medak because of the immense qualities of the learned judge. My lord, your lordship is having immense patience, abundant common sense, high grasping power, decision making, and the spontaneity in delivering the judgments. Retiring of my lord at this juncture where more than 2 lakhs cases are pending in the High Court, though number of cases were disposed of by my lord, is a loss to the institution. I do not remember any day when my lord left the court without disposing of all the cases, understanding the number of cases listed. Always after, there is no difference between the motion list and regular list before my lord, because my lord used to dispose of all the cases which are listed before my lord before the raising from the court. In my considered opinion, it become possible to have such a tremendous performance as a judge of the, as well as the district judge, as well as the High Court. Due to personal philosophy and commitment, added to that, having advantage of gentle and sober father, humble and helping mother, courteous sister, encouraging husband, and disciplined children, might have helped my lord to perform her duties to the best of her ability. My lord has always conducted the court with cool and calm temperament, always maintain a peace. Though it is painful to part with, but it is inevitable. I wish my lord I don't say retirement life, a remaining life with a peace and happiness, where I expect my lord to serve various institutions with the same spirit and zeal. I thank the organizers for the invite.
Honorable the Chief Justice of our High Court, judges of our High Court, former judges of our High Court, Learned Advocate General, Chairman of the Bar Council of the State of Andhra Pradesh, Public Prosecutor, Secretary of the Bar Association, Learned Senior Advocates, Government Leaders, Standing Council of the State and Central Government, Registrars and staff. On the occasion of retirement of Honorable Justice Sri Rajani Garu, I would like to submit that this is not a great day for the bar, as the bar would be missing one of their favorite and most sought for judge on bench from tomorrow. I am sure that this farewell would have been completely different if it had been in the normal times other than the COVID times. I am sure the first court hall would have been packed with advocates and the corridor as well would have been packed with advocates, because the bar at large would like to meet and greet Madam Justice Rajani Garu on the eve of her retirement. I had an opportunity of appearing before my Lord Justice Rajani Garu while she was a special judge for economic offences at Nampally, Hyderabad, and also as a Metropolitan Session Judge at Hyderabad while I was the Special Public Prosecutor for the Directorate of Enforcement. My Lord was always encouraging the bar and encouraged the juniors. The junior advocates had immense opportunity of fine-tuning their advocacy skills by the support of Honorable Justice Rajani Garu. I can say with a lot of determination and commitment that after establishment of separate High Court for the state of Andhra Pradesh, the advocates have been displaced from Hyderabad At that point of time, my Lord Justice Rajini Garu, with her encouragement, ensured that the bar survives. I have never seen her lose her cool in the court, even when some of the lawyers at times used to argue irrelevant issues. On the other hand, in any undeserving matter, she has the unique quality of saying a firm no with a big smile. The advocate also would walk out of her court hall with a smile, even if he or she doesn't get a desired relief. It will be a very interesting paradox for my Lord Justice Rajini Garu from tomorrow, because she was quite busy with the court work, cases, court work and other administrative work, but from tomorrow she will have ample time for the family. I only wish and pray God to create another good opportunity for my Lord Justice Rajini Garu to serve the judiciary in future. On this occasion, with a heavy heart, I wish my Lord Justice Rajini Garu a very healthy, happy and peaceful retired life all through. Thank you and Jai Hind.
The Honorable Chief Justice, Justice J.K. Maheshwari, my brother and sister judges, the registrars, Sri Sri Ram Advocate General, Sri P. Sudhakar Reddy Garu, Additional Advocate General, Sri K. Srinivas Reddy, Public Prosecutor, Sri N. Harinath, Assistant Solicitor General of India, Sri Y.V. Prasad, President AP High Court Advocates Association, Sri J.U.M.V. Prasad, Secretary of the Association, Sri Ganta Ramarao Garu, the Chairman Bar Council of AP, all the advocates, my family and friends who are online as participants in this event, and the staff who are present here, good afternoon to all. I should admit that this is one of the happiest days in my life, as is bound to be in every similarly placed person's life, because this is the day when, unless a person is exceptionally bad, the feedback backed by modesty would always be good. For a person to retire with good opinions about herself or himself is always satisfying, because that would keep her or him on for the rest of her lives. But to say honestly, today, the Advocate General and others who spoke about me observed that norm in extreme extravagance. The fragrance that comes in the December of anyone's life is the oxygen that infuses quality into the rest of his or her life. Thank you all for dispensing with my future pranayama. If there is any truth in what is spoken of about me, it is my duty to thank each one of those who have assisted and supported me to earn these good opinions. Firstly, the Honorable Chief Justice and Justice C. Praveen Kumar, who was the acting Chief Justice by the time I swore in as a judge of this High Court, who have always been a source of encouragement by allotting work of my convenience and in allotting duties within my capabilities. Never was there any instance of discomfort while working under their leadership. By proclaiming that he is only first among us who are equals and is not superior to any one of us, the Honorable Chief Justice gave us freedom to open up to him uninhibitively. His humility not only helped me as a judge, but also as an individual to understand the importance of understanding the essence of human existence. My brother judges have always been a source of joy and pleasure, and my sister judges were real darlings. We all shared absolute camaraderie. I thank each one of them for the happiness that they have shared to me. The erstwhile Registrar General, Mr. Rajshekhar, who is unfortunately no more with us, and the present Registrar General, Ms. Bhanumati, Registrar Judicial, Sri Alapati Giridhar, Registrar Administration, Sri Duppala Venkatramana, Registrar Recruitment, Srimati Gandham Sunita, and Registrar Protocol, Sri Muralidhar Rao, who had patience to explain things which needed to be understood by me for the smooth functioning of the High Court. I thank each one of them specially. A very, very special thanks are due to the Registrar General, who was there at the time of my elevation to the High Court, and who is the first Registrar General of this High Court. He is none other than Justice Roy, my good friend and a role model for Registrars General. Though at times I mourned for we both not being elevated at the same time, being batchmates, I should admit that the attention paid by him as Registrar General made me more comfortable. Thank you, friend. Among my staff, my attenders stand in priority, particularly court attenders. Their skills of grasping my priorities in work always surprise me. They used to keep everything in place and line to optimize my time. Their ability to catch up with my method of working has put me on a very strong hold. Raghava, Prakash, and Kaleshwarao in this court, Yunus, Mahmood, and Satyam in Common High Court deserve to be thanked immensely. Equally important were the services of my house attendants who took care of my family so well that my concern needed for my family never bothered and disturbed me. Akbar Khan, Madasir Khan, Shastri, Kishan and Chittamma, I thank you. I need to thank Dharani and Busha also, the two outsourcing employees who took care of me in Guntur. My drivers, Kishore and Rafi, always managed to put me in court in time with their wonderful driving skills. So also Lakshman Reddy in Common High Court. I thank all of them. My personal secretaries here and in Common High Court, Mr. Satish Kumar, Manikyavalli, Shivakumar and Sunil Kumar, who were like family. They shared all my joys and difficulties. Without their support, I could not have been able to perform as I could. They took care of my personal needs with absolute care. I heartfully thank them. My court officers in both courts, Mr. Prasad, Srimati Madhavi, and Mr. Naveen, who happily bore my torture and who wonderfully coped up with my style of work. If there need to be any applause for my work on bench, it is they who deserve it, along with my extremely skilled court master, Mr. Y. Srinivas, and others who worked in complete coordination with me. I thank all of them deeply. I thank the computer operators, Mr. Dilip, Gayatri, and Mohan Teja, who for about 7 months were as important as other court staff. With all their abilities, they helped in running the virtual courts without much disturbance. Sri A. Surya Prakash Rao, Deputy Registrar, and Sri Venugopal Rao, Section Officer J, Special and Medicals, who worked to see that my bills are processed in time, and specially to see that I fail in finding suitable words to thank them. The concern underlying their efforts impressed me immensely. Thanks to both of them and the staff of those sections who assisted them, Sri Edukondalu, Pushpalata, Muniswamy, and Prakash. The protocol section always surprised me by their keen attention whenever I had to travel. I thank the staff of protocol section of both the High Court, Sri Sriman Narayana, Pavan, Achibabu, Anil, and Govardhan Reddy. The overseer, Mr. Nagender of Common High Court, and Mr. Peer Sahib of this court. The cooks in the pantry, Mr. Govindu and Umakanta Das, and the attendants there took care of our appetite. They never provided their services in a routine manner, but mixed them with a lot of love and concern. I thank all of them for all that. I thank the posting clerks, Mr. Tirupati Rao, Lingamurthy, and Shiva, Srimati Gayatri, Section Officer, and Sri B. Narsingarao, Assistant Registrar, Special Officer Section, and the section officers of all the other sections, whose names I am not able to mention due to paucity of time. They are no less important in my life as a judge, since it is their cooperation which helped me in functioning effectively. My personal security at home and the security in court, who took care to clear the disturbances, if any, till we reach our chambers and home safely. I thank all of them. Last but not the least, my family, my parents, and my sister, Neeraja, to stay with whom the bifurcation of the High Court has facilitated. They were always there behind my success to share their opinions about my important actions in life. Thank you is not a word to express my gratitude. I love you, Amma, Nana, and baby. My husband, who has always been my backbone, he always wished to be there for every event in my judicial life, but could not, as he took upon him the whole burden of the family care. Without his support and understanding, I would not have at all been able to do as I did in my work. He is here today. Thank you so much for everything. My sons Kirti and Abhimanyu, who have been there to feel happy for every successful moment in my life, and who shared my emotions and were completely undemanding. I thank both of them. A special one in my family, my daughter-in-law. She is more a friend to me. She stands to be a measure of my success as a human being. She is one among those who love me most, for not what I have given to her, but for what I am. My success as a human being is demonstrated through the love she has for me. She is to me as Ruth is for Naomi in Bible. I thank her from the bottom of my heart. My grandson, he is here too. He has been my stress buster. Love you, Nana. A special thanks to a person who left the world within few years of my selection as a district judge. He was the person who honed my skills, with whom I spent 20 long years, you don't believe, chatting and chatting with lots of his knowledge shared during those chats. The knowledge which transformed as my wisdom, if any. He taught me how to interpret the religious texts in a spiritual and materialistic way, to adopt the thoughts for the betterment of my life. He was truly my guide and friend. The knowledge he imparted me still keeps me guiding. My senior, Sri Patibanda Hanumat Prasad Garu. And the bar, which should have been mentioned first, I prefer to put it last because of the longevity of my thanksgiving to them, and which is because of they being intertwined with each moment of my life as a judge. As a child, I always wanted to become a lawyer. I did not know that there is a route to judiciary from the legal profession. I ran into this accidentally. After I became a judge, I was trained for a few months, but the training that I should not let my work grow under my feet and should never allow myself to be bogged came from my family culture, social exposure, and my understanding of things. I approached the bench, as said by Lord Hailsham, with the enthusiasm of both a bride approaching marriage and of a priest approaching priesthood. I quickly became aware that the main evil that hangs upon the judicial system is long pendency of cases. I should humbly admit that I am one of those few members of the society, as Alexander Hamilton, one of the framers of the American Constitution, put it, who do not have sufficient skills in laws to qualify for the station of judges. But I believed that I had the strength of my common sense backed by the experience of good interaction with the society. It delighted me to know that my view that even if a wrong decision is taken, there are appellate and other similar authorities to put matters right, and that apart from this, there could always be 3 or 4 correct answers to a problem which people, according to their different experiences or background, could offer, has support of Sri Y.N. Sutankar, who was the governor of Orissa. If I did not waste time in thinking about solutions other than those which occurred to me with a prudent person's understanding of things and are supported by law as understood and interpreted by me, it is because I wholly believed in this. As a lawyer, I learned very early that a litigant was not least concerned with caste, creed, and color of the lawyer that he chooses. His concern was only to achieve success in his litigation. My experience is same as that of Justice B.P. Sinha, a Supreme Court judge, that my relatives would not think of engaging me just because I am their relative. I was nurtured with no feelings of caste and creed, which my life has proved to be the most unimportant aspects. This awareness has given me the wisdom that my functioning as a judge should be beyond all narrow considerations. I always sloganed my life that not only caste feeling, but caste consciousness is also a factor which deviates you from the path of uprightness. I thank the bar for sharing the same wisdom. I am not gifted with good memory. That is why, though I believe in what Justice Cardozo said, that a judge with best card index of cases is successful, I could not keep one. I was most of the times driven by a prudent person's sense of right and wrong while rendering judgments, and most of the times I took a common sense point of view of the matters. My experience had several instances by which the correctness of the statement of Sri Sarath Chandra Bose, a lawyer of Esther years, stood upheld. He says, for every true and genuine fact, you are sure to find a precedent to support you if you need the crutches of a precedent to support you. Instances where I prepared judgments contrary to the conclusions of which judgments used to be sent later are not rare. With a great boggling, I used to research for judgments to support my conclusions, which are based on my reasoning, and I never failed. That is how my faith in the wisdom of the institution stands enhanced. I was antipathic to forms and legalisms. I had a tendency to uphold the true principle underlying the law and legal provisions. Though it is for the bar to judge, I believed that I was working with that philosophy. Though I did not crave for any support for my way of functioning, I felt satisfied that I was on right track when I found support from the experiences of legal luminaries. I always wished that the bar and the bench shared proficiency in the subject, as was reflected in the anecdotes cited in the biographies of great judges and lawyers. Permit me to cite one. Legendary lawyer Sri A.V. Vishwanatha Sastry was once arguing in his inimitable style before a bench. Justice Bachavath, a fine judge, observed that the proposition which Sri Sastry was canvassing was directly contrary to a decision of a Privy Council. Then Sri Sastry replied, "Yes, my lord, that is the only decision of Privy Council that has been adversely commented on in Halsbury's laws, in such and such a volume." Justice Gajendra Gadkar, who was also sharing the bench, sent for both the authorities and found both of them to be correct. How wonderful would it be for the bench and the bar to work with such levels of competence? It is well said that judges are humane, not machines. I don't need to be persuaded as Justice Holmes by Harold Lasky to realize that I, as a judge, am a human being. I'm always conscious about the dangerous myth that merely by putting on a robe and taking oath of office of a judge, a person ceases to be a human and strips himself of all predilections and becomes passionless thinking machine. One must expect judicial frailties. If there are instances where I had hurt the feelings of the bar, it must be understood that is because of those human frailties in me. I urge you not to judge them too harshly. Yes, I know that no harsh judgments were passed by the bar against me, which astonishes me by the depth of its understanding. It is wonderful to note that the bar goes into the minute details of judges' character and evaluates them on a scale of unbelievable human understanding. Never was there an instance of misunderstanding of me by the bar. If they said I was wrong, it was my opinion too, arrived at after a little introspection. In fact, one of the best compliments for me comes from this bar. Every judge has to give judgments in cases where each of the parties to the litigation have their own judgments in their favor. Judges have to base their judgments on the abstract concept of justice, which is subjective. I should applaud the bar for playing a role of mediator between the bench and the litigant to explain to them what goes into a judgment. If the bar fails in that duty, there would be an uproar against every verdict of the court. Peace of the society, according to me, depends much on the role played by the bar, which is well being played. I thank them for that and my love for how they understood me. From now on, each day is an addition to my life by grace of nature. Years may be added to my life, but how to add life to them is certainly the thought that engages me hereafter. Both as a lawyer and a judge, I came across several miseries of life, underlying which is lack of proper education, lack of tolerance. The worst of the miseries is hunger and struggle for survival, which came as a challenge through the recent pandemic of COVID-19. My understanding about the essence of life is enhanced. With the wisdom that it shared, I hope that my retired life would not pose any big challenges to me. With that hope, and with the hope that I have a niche, however small it may be, in the history of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana judiciary, I conclude. Thank you.
I think this is one of the rousing speeches I ever heard. Amazing.
Yeah, absolutely, and absolutely correct.
By a distance. I think the last was perhaps Sivaraman Nair, and perhaps also Justice Singhvi, but I think this is
really
well thought, well presented. Amazing. It almost looked like a judgment.
Matching reply to your speech. Sriram?
Sir?
Matching reply to your speech, I said.
No, I was not expecting this, but I think it was
After a very long time, you had a...
Someone ask for a script.
Yes, sir. I was already planning to.
Yeah, ask for a script and keep it in your library.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, gentlemen. God bless.
This is why unanimously won the hearts of the bar.
Yeah, I mean the clinical ease with which the judge was referring to anecdotes and connecting, amazing fluency with thought and ability. Great. I wish I was the counsel for the petition in the last 2 years too. Amazing. Great job. Chala, take care.
No one has any regret.
You can appear before or sometime later, Sriram.
Oh yes, I will sure. I'll sure. And tell her I can't lose on both ways, ma'am. I am now for the petitioner.
Okay.
Great job.
Bye.
Great
Have a
job.
nice day.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Namaste.